Good evening, everyone. I'm Carolyn Bott, president of the board of Sunlight Home, and I'm coming to you today in a slightly different fashion than we had planned. Normally, I'd be speaking to you from the podium at the Naples Sailing and Yacht Club. It's our benefit dinner that we have every year there. But because of the COVID restrictions, we're coming to you with our first virtual event directly from our home here in Naples, Florida. I just wanted to mention that we have such a wonderful community of support in this here in Naples, and because of all of you, you have invested in the girls, in the mothers, and their babies and their children here at Sunlight Home, and because of you, we were able to actually change and allow them to save the lives. So today we want to give some, I said the wrong thing. For a second. Okay, today we want to thank you for all of your continued support. As you know, we don't take any government funding and we depend entirely on private donations. This is our 26th year of saving and changing lives, and we are not just pro-life, pro-birth rather. We're not just pro-birth, we are actually pro-life. And as Jesus told us, I've come to give you life, an abundant life, and that's what we do here at Sunlight Home. So I'd like to give you a few examples of some of the things that your investments have been able to help us accomplish. These girls and young women had come to us from different walks of life. We cultivated the soil, we planted the seed, but we don't always get to see it grow. Fortunately for us, some of these residents continue to stay in touch with us and are so happy to report their successes. So I just want to give you a little few stories to let you know how important your support is. When I first came to Sunlight Home as a volunteer, one of my first jobs was driving around Chloe. And Chloe came to us from a very difficult life. Her father had gone to prison. She was on the streets. And she was pregnant and didn't know where to go. So she came here. She had a lot of anger problems, and she was very unhappy with herself, as she was with almost anyone she met. She really had personality issues. But after a short time with us, she started to understand what love is. Because when you walk into Sunlight Home, you're walking to a place where there's love. And we all went around taking her different places, and she started to become more social and congenial as she calmed down. She got her GED, she got her driver's license, she was able to manage her anger. We had, I used to take her out for, meals and shopping and whatnot, and I drove her to work and to take her to her schooling. When she left Sunlight Home, she was confident that she and her beautiful little baby boy would have a good life, and she was right. A few years ago, she came back to visit us with her beautiful baby boy, who's now 11, and her new baby girl that she has with her husband. Last week, I got a copy of her college degree certificate. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in human services, magna cum laude, and she is the case manager at DCF. It's pretty funny that she's managing the people. She used to be one of them that were managed by someone else, and now she's doing that at DCF. Also, while she was here, another young lady, Ariana, came to us from Chicago, and the two of them became like sisters, fighting with each other, arguing, whatever, but they did everything together. So I was taking them around together, and Ariana's story was a little bit different. Her parents had thrown her out of the house because she became pregnant. Her boyfriend didn't want anything to do with a baby, so she figured she's going to have to find someplace to stay. Started calling around, ended up here at Sunlight Home. And as a result of, a continued support, she was able to make the decision to give her baby life, and also she wanted to be a pediatric nurse. So she decided she was going to go to college. When she found out she was having a boy, she named him Giovanni and walked around, talking to him all the time. Did you like that, Giovanni? You know, she had that connection with that little baby from the minute she found out she was having a boy. Then, when it was time for her to leave Sunlight home, her parents wouldn't take her back. So she went to live with an aunt on the other coast, and she did complete college. And she started a career. While she was in college, she found she had an extraordinary talent for photography. And she started taking pictures and finally took some courses. And she now has her own photography studio in Chicago. She's reunited with her family, and she's very happy. Her boy is 11 years old, and he's on the honor society at school. You know, so she's a big plus. The last story I'll tell you is about Holly. When Holly came to us, she was in a really sad state. She was autistic. She had some Asperger's symptoms, and she had never had any dental work or even hardly brushed her teeth her whole life. So her whole mouth was just, you know, filled with abscessed teeth, and she was in terrible pain. And she didn't know what she was going to do because she didn't know whether she could parent. So we were able to have a dentist that was willing to help her. He removed all of her teeth and gave her a beautiful new set of dentures. And when she smiled, she was beaming. It changed her life. I mean, she just now felt so happy. Then, you know, she couldn't read or write either. So we started to teach her that. And because of her disability, her brain worked a little differently. She found that if she typed what she was looking at, she could read it. I'm not sure what the connection was, but it worked for her. So we started her with first grade books, and she's typing and she's reading it. Finally, she was able to pick up reading on her own and also writing. And she wasn't ready to go out completely on her own, and we didn't have transitional back then. So we found a group home for her to go to, and she was the cashier in their you know, they had like a nonprofit store. So she was, you know, if she did something, you know, over and over again, she did it great. So we didn't hear from her for a while. She left that home, and recently she sent us a beautiful picture of her, you know, her baby girl, and she also had gotten married. And she just had twin boys, and there's a picture of her and her little family and her husband. But what she did when she was here was she knew she couldn't parent her child, so she sent that child as a gift to another family that was looking for a baby. So she did a wonderful thing, and God rewarded her, because now she's as happy as she can be. She's home with her children, has a wonderful husband, and she's, you know, she's very successful. So from the time she walked in here and you see where she is now, it's almost hard to believe, you know.
Very good.
Just stop for a minute.
Yeah, pause for a minute. Get a bottle of water. And,
My mouth is so dry.
Yeah,
Fix that mic.
yeah, and if you could take the mic and just pull up the cord a little bit. Yeah.
That happens to me sometimes.
Do you want us
Yeah,
to, do you want us to stop this or keep rolling?
We can get. Is that good for take one?
I don't know if I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sorry about that.
No, that's good.